Welcome to the LivRad podcast with Becky Cortino. That's me. This mini podcast is created to inspire living creatively, flourishing unconventionally, the original life hack. This episode of LivRad, the podcast, is about family, love, life, pain, forgiveness, and how to live forward in love. How wonderful, how beautiful are the strong family ties that bind a group of individuals together as family. What an incredible feeling to have the support and love of family members. Your kid sister, big brother, your aunt, mom, and dad. Nearly all have known you since day one in your life, except for your kid sister or brother, of course. Unfortunately, some people have never known the depth and joy of life-enhancing family ties. This can happen for many reasons. Every reason is as unique as the relationship and all involved. It's sad to think of personal loss experienced because of an inability to nurture relationships. And yet, this happens, doesn't it? Because we're human. All have failed at some point to focus on a relationship that needed more care. But make no mistake, it's not just the outcast, the black sheep, or odd one out everyone wants to turn their backs on. Because everyone wants to turn their backs on them, it's just easier. Let's examine how everyone loses out when this happens. All lives are diminished. The lucky ones who choose to ignore and despise others are missing out too. Only they're so headstrong and hard-hearted, they don't see it that way. Families are a gathering of individuals under the umbrella of the heart. They are brought together by an inherent blood ties, blood-related, or if truly fortunate enough to be accepted into a family as an adopted addition or a loved spouse. A loving family is all in and for each other. They support and listen. They truly care. Adulthood gives us opportunity to create the kind of life we want to live, independent of direct parental influence, living how we choose. The life we design may be outside the parameters of what we were taught or not. This means we're in the driver's seat. For some, those who raised us may not be able to continue on the journey with us. When this happens, there are spaces left behind needing to be filled, things to learn, more to understand than we could realize when we first jet off. Due to life events, an untimely departure from family connections may come later in life. When this happens, we're plagued with unanswered questions like why, and wondering what to do about a mess or complex situation left behind. Challenges and confusion make life more difficult. Maybe you have family that insists on dispensing advice ongoing, whether you want it or not. It may be with all good intentions or sidestepping potential landmines and expectations of living as they think you should may add layers of complication. Better to thank someone for advice while charting your own course. No need to stir the discord by telling them, I don't want any advice. If you come from a home life that didn't prepare you well for living a good life, or you want to make a break from your past, know you can overcome these things. Life has been so difficult. The situations have been painful. The problem seems insurmountable. It takes over life. You may wonder how to get through this. First, embrace what happened. It happened. It played out as it did. Acknowledge the wrong done. Then, count the cost of what you'll miss if you don't extend grace for a wrong done if the issue continues. Reflecting on what might be and possible future life events you'll miss. If you think about it, it's shocking. Last, forgive the offense. Forgiving is a way through the hard places in life. We can't change the fact that something painful happened. We can't change the fact that hurtful, evil people exist. But we can control how we handle troubling issues in our lives. Forgiving begins with care and ends with, I forgive you, all covered in prayer. Sometimes those involved will deny their role or refuse grace. You can forgive without contact with them, which is advisable when personal safety is an issue. Or perhaps the person is deceased. You can still forgive them and free yourself of the pain. Hanging on to unforgiveness is voluntarily carrying a burden every day for the rest of your life. Some people moan about it and believe it's a cross they have to bear. It becomes a nagging companion for as long as you hold on to it. True joy comes when the heavy load is lifted through grace. None of us have a cross to bear. Jesus already bore the cross, and he died for our sins on that cross, for our salvation and forgiveness, for our wrongs done. John 3:16-18 tells us, this is how much God loved the world. He gave his Son, his one and only Son. And this is why, so that no one need be destroyed. By believing in him, anyone can have a whole and lasting life. God didn't go to all the trouble of sending his Son merely to point an accusing finger, telling the world how bad it was. He came to help, to put the world right. Anyone who trusts in him is acquitted. Anyone who refuses to trust him has long since been under the death sentence without knowing it. And why? Because of that person's failure to believe in the one-of-a-kind Son of God when introduced to him. Friend, true joy comes when the heavy load is lifted through grace. Families can love forever, but not all families love in the same way. Know what love should be or understand how to make things right. But you know how to set yourself free and love beyond that place. I've experienced these things too. It is possible to forgive, move forward, and live in love. LivRad, the podcast, is created to encourage you to transform life beyond the hard places by living radically based on time-tested biblical principles, flourishing unconventionally. It is the original life hack. For more encouraging words and inspiration, please like and subscribe so you don't miss future drops. And be sure to visit the resource links included. Thanks for joining me here today.